afternoon, everybody. It's the John Ross Show for today, Monday, April 27th, 2026. And it's a whole 64 degrees outside right now. And we got to watch about the rain and the river here in the Fox Valley. So that's another thing out there. So today we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have Juan Thomas, lawyer and former president of the National Bar Association. So I'm going to bring up Juan right now, and we'll begin our little talk we're going to have. There's Juan. Hello, Juan. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, John, how are you doing today? Good to see you, my
All
friend.
righty, we're doing all right.
Good.
So I'm going to just remember Juan's been a lawyer for a little while, and he's also the former president. You know, he was president when I was president of Kiwanis a few years ago, but time goes by, but he's a former president. That's very distinguished group, so I'm really happy to have Juan with us. And he's in Aurora, and he's in the Kiwanis group and many other things. So I thank Juan for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
And we're going to talk about, well, there's so many things to talk about here, but we could
How
talk.
much is going on these days?
Yeah,
It's
over
quiet,
the
isn't it?
weekend. Over the weekend, I got a topic here I want to touch on too. So under Trump, we have the law, the Constitution, the 25th Amendment, impeachment, etc. And the second administration is looking a lot different. Why didn't we start out with a bang there when Trump pardoned people? I mean, that was a part of the law. What was it, 1600? He pardoned the first day?
Well, look, this is the revenge and retribution tour
That's a
of,
good comment.
of Trump. He said he was going to take retribution and get revenge on those he felt wronged him. Obviously, I think his judgment is quite misplaced, to be mild about it.
Yeah,
Um, those who prosecuted him did it under the law, did
right.
it following the rules, found him guilty of 34 different counts, felony counts. Um, Other investigations would have found him liable for other matters if they had proceeded. That did not occur for multiple reasons, like in Georgia and other parts of the country. But this is where we are,
Yeah, well, this is where we are.
where we are. And um, elections, I say this all the time, elections have consequences.
That's true
And
also.
who you vote for, or who you choose not to vote for,
Right.
by
And
those
not
who don't
vote at
participate,
all.
or that's what I was saying, who don't vote at all, has significant consequences that can alter the course of our country and ultimately our individual and collective lives. And
And
we're
I don't
seeing that
know if,
now.
oh, excuse me. Go
Go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know if Donald Trump knows too much about the Constitution, I've thought. How do
I
you think?
doubt if he's ever read it.
What was that, brother?
I doubt if he's read it.
I
However,
doubt it too. Yeah.
I think we need to do a deeper dive. It's not that he hasn't read it. What he's done this time, he has surrounded himself in the background by
Right.
people that are very astute. They understand the Constitution. They understand how the federal government works. They understand process and procedure. And they are dismantling our governmental structures, entity by entity, case by case, law by law. So while Trump may be the front man,
Right.
he's got a team behind him, primarily those who wrote Project 2025, who are
Yes.
implementing that agenda. And they are very smart, very intelligent, very savvy, and we see it on multiple levels. Almost every week, something else comes out, something else that they're rolling out. So Um, I don't underestimate Donald Trump because I know those who are behind him um, are quite sophisticated and savvy.
Yeah, he had Elon Musk and the rest dismantle a lot of things, and
Yeah.
he's got a Wheaton College graduate. I went to their grad school, but a graduate, this Russell Vogt,
Yep.
who's the head of the what's it?
OMB.
OMB, yeah,
Yeah.
budget stuff,
Yep.
and he's
Mostly
very.
managing budget. Right. And
He,
he's the author of a lot of this work
I know he is.
and Project 2025 specifically. And this moment reminds me of something I learned in college,
Okay.
and I've seen it throughout my career. It's a very dangerous place when you have intellect in power, but they lack character. Dr. King
Yes.
talked about this, the whole notion of intellect without integrity.
Right.
Um, and I mean, I could go on and on, but we're seeing that right now. We're seeing people, and I'm not talking about his cabinet secretaries that are unqualified and incompetent. I'm talking about them.
Right.
I'm talking about the layer below,
Yeah.
the names you don't see in the headlines, the people that you don't read about on social media, but those are the people that are implementing this strategy.
Right. There's like this Stephen Miller and this
Yes,
Russell Voigt, and there's
Russell Vose,
others,
Stephen Miller. It's
and
that
there's
layer.
others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're often
People don't really.
distracted. Right. We get distracted by RFK Jr. and Pete Hefsef, um, you know, and his son-in-law, you know, Jared. You know, those are problematic figures as well.
Right.
But I'm suggesting that the real danger are those that are implementing a strategy to destroy and to tear down the democracy and to really take us back to a place pre civil rights, pre affirmative action, pre voting rights. There's a case coming out this summer that could possibly completely gut the Voting Rights Act.
Really.
Yeah. The Supreme Court will be ruling on this case, Louisiana versus Kalel, later this summer, where it could completely gut the section that protects our voting rights in terms of enforcing judicial review. Um,
Just recently, you can it's on all aspects of law, immigration law. Like Trump has stopped legal immigration from almost all the whole world except South African whites. Do you see that just recently?
well, I mean, look, there is a racial thread that runs
There
throughout
is.
all of Trump's agenda. They are trying to make this country basically a white dominated, white controlled nation. At the root of all of this is the multicultural and the what some call the darkening of America, right?
Oh,
The fact
oh,
that America is becoming more black and more brown. Um,
yes. This,
they're trying to slow that down.
I think the churches, the white churches, the same that I don't know if you know, it was Dr. Sun Chun Ra. He's out at Fuller.
Yeah,
He wrote a book called The New Evangelism, and he basically said what you said that was happening in the country, and the church doesn't realize it. The changing, the brown, the Asian, we can go down.
right.
Just the whole country's changing, and these people don't want to be there. I don't think they're practicing the kingdom of God too well here, these people.
I don't know what Bible they're reading, but the Bible that I've
Yeah,
read does not purport to anything that they're doing.
no,
And those who call themselves Christian don't understand what the word Christian means, and they're following nothing that Christ ever taught. In
No,
fact,
and
um, I would even question if we should call them Christian. They're white nationalists.
yeah, that is a good point. And I, it's just out the same policies of some churches. Well, they go together. I mean, it's very close.
Yeah.
On the the some of the white evangelicals have been Republicanized or the other way around, whatever you want to say.
Well, John,
And they seem like they fall in step. No immigration, so the church does not reach out to anybody and just is slow on thinking about others. They don't think about others. I anyway, I get off on
well,
that, but
well,
go
John,
on.
I think if you study American history, and if you study the history of slavery in
Right?
this country, you have to understand. I would argue there were three pillars that um, lifted up slavery. One
Okay.
was the government. We
Right?
were three-fifths of a person, right?
Hmm. Right?
We put it in law, in the Constitution. The
Hmm.
other pillar would be the economy, the business world,
Right?
the wealth that was created because of
Hmm.
free labor. And then third, the church,
Right?
faith. The church was complicit. And let me use a stronger word. The church was a partner in promoting slavery. Um,
Yeah.
and
Well, I think when you say that and I say that, we don't say all the church, but we're
well, I'm talking about the white evangelicals.
yeah, and maybe not all of them either, but it was
Well,
predominant. Yeah.
it was the culture of the time.
Right.
Now, obviously, there were religious leaders who preached and advocated against slavery, but you could not institute slavery
No.
politically and economically unless you also tied it to your faith and your belief and your
Right.
value in the context of how you see humanity. And so, if you see people of color less than, if they are not your neighbor, the Bible
Right.
says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But if you don't see me as your neighbor, then you can oppress me. You can keep me out of opportunity. You can um, beat me. You can sell my children, um, make me work for you without compensation.
Right.
So that was all rooted in how you see man, which is sociology, tied to how you see God, which is theology, right? And so that was all tied to um, how, and that's still true today. You know, these white evangelical quote Christians
Yeah.
are using their version of theology to purport a notion of white supremacy. That's really their religion. It's not Christianity. It's white supremacy.
And I don't know, it just sort of crept up. It's been out there a long time, but it really crept up in the last 10 years. And
Well, it's become more in your face in the last 10 years. I would
yeah.
argue it was always there.
Oh, I know it's always there, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, you know,
Never left.
like John, I don't know if you knew this individual about him. The late John Perkins was a good man, a good Christian leader from Mississippi, and had a lot of work, and he did civil rights in Mississippi mostly, and he tried to reach between the black and white churches. But I remember he came to First Press. This is like 20 years ago, 25 years ago,
Mhm.
and I think I don't know who's somebody was really saying, "Oh, we got to bring back the Constitution, bring back our Christian values." And then I think Perkins said, "Hey, I don't want that. I don't want to be counted as three-fifths of a man." I go,
Well,
I always remember that. He said that. It was a public statement, if I remember right. I
right.
go,
So,
I don't want to
John,
be counted as three
you
fifths
know,
of a man.
the whole notion of bringing principles back, bringing Constitution back, I think that kind of misses the point. Um, I think we are living in a time where we have two, maybe more, but at least two uh, streams of thought in our
Okay.
country. When I say that, I'm talking about the right and the MAGA right. One thought is what I call conscientious stupidity. I'm quoting Dr. King now.
Okay, go on.
Conscientious stupidity means
Hmm.
we know better, but we choose not to do better.
That's out
Right?
there.
So
Yes.
the lies that we're purporting, the
Right.
lie that we don't know who won the 2020 election, when the
Yeah. Right.
Democrats win, it's corrupt. When the Republicans win, it's legitimate.
Right.
Those type of lies, they're being purported by people who know they're lying. These are the intellectuals. They know
Right.
they're lying. When they attack DEI as incompetent people of color, they know they're lying. They know black and brown people are not incompetent, but it's a way to um, tear down the progress that we've made
Right.
over the last 50 years. That's one group. The conscientious stupid people that are
Okay.
they're playing dumb when they know what they're doing.
Right.
The other side is the sincerely ignorant. Again, quoting King. And King said these two strands are the two most dangerous things in America because the sincerely ignorant, they can be lied to.
Right.
They can be fooled because they don't have the data. They don't have the information.
Right.
They believe the rhetoric. So our brothers and sisters who live in the rural parts of the country,
Right.
who don't get information, who don't read certain books and newspapers, who only watch Fox News, who've been taught that I'm dangerous because I'm a black man, that I'm lazy because I'm a black man.
Right.
Whatever I've gotten in life is because it was given to me because of a set aside program. Those who've been fed those type of lies vote often against their economic and political interest
Right.
because it perpetuates a myth. And so we have these two groups in America,
Mhm.
sincerely ignorant, they don't know, and
Right.
those who are conscientiously stupid. They know
Yeah.
better, but they choose not to do better. And both of and to fight and to strategize against both groups requires a different approach. Um, Let me say it this way: those who are conscientiously plain stupid,
Yeah.
I believe they are evil. They lack morality.
Yes.
They have no character.
You're saying they know better than they still do it, right?
They still do it. There's a lack of morality with that community. Those who perpetuate the lie, those who know that Joe Biden won the election in 2020, but want to pretend as though there were flawed election procedures, even though
Right.
over 60 courts around the country said
Right.
there was no election fraud at all.
Can I interrupt once? I remember
Yes,
that guy that's on was on a hearing to get to be that Fed chairman. They asked him about that to do the other day.
what did he say? I didn't hear that.
I don't think he couldn't answer it.
Right,
He didn't want to answer about who won the election, I
right,
believe.
right. I come from here's my point of departure. I can tell you without fear or favor
Right.
that the Seattle Seahawks won the
Okay.
Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
I can tell you that OKC won the NBA championship last year.
Okay.
I can tell you, if I look it up, because I just can't think of his name, who won the Masters a few weeks ago.
Right. I mean, yeah, these
And
are
and
facts.
and if I can answer those questions, I can also tell you who won the 2020 election,
That's true.
and it was a man named Joseph R. Biden.
That's correct.
And if you can't answer that question, you are conscientiously stupid.
Yes.
You know better, but you're choosing not to do better. And those are
Now,
the people that I think we have to recognize are behind the scenes plotting and scheming to destroy our democracy.
yes, and truth loses here, and that's Christians are supposed to be for truth, and that's a bad thing going down that trail. And I
Well,
want
I
to
think
ask you
Jesus said,
about two
did Jesus
things.
say he was the truth?
What now?
Didn't Jesus say he was the truth?
Yes, he did.
I thought I heard.
He did.
I thought I read that somewhere. That's right.
I think we read that, and that's part of my belief
Somewhere I
system. I
read.
know. I believe that's part of your belief system, and we
Yeah.
gotta. Truth is truth. Now, see, some of these people might just say it's in the Bible, but truth is out there in the community too. Some are they'll spiritualize that too, somewhat sometimes.
Well, look, the danger of religion is that it can be manipulated
It
to
can
carry
be.
out very destructive and demonic
Yes.
values,
Well,
and it has
we,
been throughout history.
we know that, but we're going to be the opposite. But I know what you're saying. It's very, very true. Now, I wanted to bring this up for the weekend made me think on this one.
Okay.
Now, we have two approaches now the Democrats are using on Trump. They say Trump's no good. They go down a litany of things why he's no good, and I agree with every one of them. But then they throw out, oh, I think we got to use the 25th Amendment, and I go to myself, hey, that is downright complicated. I don't know if they want to go to maybe it's a simpler but straightforward impeachment. That word seems to scare Democrats lately.
Yeah.
Because I think they got associated with I think it's Al Green of Texas. Remember, he's always been
Yeah.
on for impeachment.
So I was at a luncheon last week at the
Uh-huh.
ACLU. I'm on the board of the Illinois chapter of ACLU,
Okay.
and our executive director left us with a very profound and moving speech where she laid out the three pillars that she thinks we have to move on,
Yeah.
move with
Mhm.
moving forward. And they were resistance. We have to
Yeah.
resist what's going on right now in our country.
Right.
Not only we have to resist, we have to hold accountable.
Right.
And so, to your question, um, those who have broken the law, who have purposely done things that are illegal, must be held
Right.
accountable. But the third thing, and this is what we don't always focus on in the Democratic Party, we have to reform. Here's was the first line of her paragraph around reform. Our democracy has not worked for everybody.
Right.
We have to own that reality. There are people that don't have a better life or better quality of life no matter who gets elected.
Right.
Their lives don't improve.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to suggest there is no role for individual capacity and effort, but there are structures in place. There are systemic
Right.
structures in place that continue to keep certain people unable to live up to their full potential or live out the American dream. And
Yeah.
so they see a Barack Obama become president, but they still see black men being killed in the streets that are
Right.
unarmed, right? So they look and wonder, my neighborhood is no safer under Obama than it was under George Bush,
Right.
right? And so we have to, the Democratic Party, those who are elected to public office, just can't run on, we're going to hold Trump accountable and impeach him.
Well,
The other piece is we've got to also reform our government and our society and really lay out a vision of what we believe America is supposed to be. And we don't do that enough on that other side. And so
my
I think
point
it's a
was
both and, not an either or.
my point was on the 25th Amendment and impeachment was the 25th Amendment just drags out the conversation, in my opinion, because it's
Right,
never going to happen. The impeachment could happen, but right now it might not go anywhere. But my point is, we got to say we're doing something on that front. I mean,
right,
that's another front. It's the corruption, illegal side, and the other side is the economic side that we got to be. I'm personally for health care for all and things like that to bring up on the other side. We got to get the rich to pay their fair share. That's the economic side. But I'm saying on the corruption side, we're just we're just sitting there and not doing much, and then we wonder why somebody when another over the weekend somebody was saying about countries when they've had assassinations, it's a lot of times it's because they're frustrated.
Right.
I mean, not always, but there's
Well,
that
look,
out there. So I'm just saying,
as you,
people might be they don't see any way to monitor or do anything on Trump. It just keeps going on. You know what I'm saying?
let's be honest.
Hmm.
Uh, there's no way in the world that this cabinet is going to find Trump
Oh, that's my
incompetent.
point on the 25th Amendment. It's
Right. It's never going to happen.
never going to happen. And the other maybe won't happen, but at least it's out there. And maybe in 2020 or after this midterm, it might be better. But if you don't even try, my point is they're not even, they're sort of, and
Mm.
there's polls now that say people want him impeached, but the Democrats are still not, there's
Well,
polling.
I
It
mean,
says
look,
it's over 50%.
the the impeachment process ultimately is not a legal process; it's a political process,
Oh, it is. I
right?
agree with that. Well, it's
So,
got some. Well, it's in law. I mean, that's the only
right,
legal part
but
about it.
the judge and jury are the members of
Right.
Congress,
It's
right?
not the
And they're
same.
political actors.
Oh,
They're
they're
not
not
acting above.
unbiased or whatever. They're going to have some bias too.
So the only way he gets impeached and then
Mhm.
convicted
Right.
is if Republicans decide
Right.
that it is in their best political interest
See, I think it's going to be. That's my
to
point.
convict him.
I think the Democrats don't want him impeached because it's not in their interest. It's just the one topic. We keep on Trump forever, and we'll just keep. That's my. That's just.
Well,
It's sort of cynical, but I don't know.
right. Well, the other thing is, remember, if you impeach him, you get J.D.
I
Vance.
know that. He's only a tad better, but he might be.
I'm not sure that's an improvement.
He might be. At least he doesn't sleep during his times or whatever. I don't know, Juan. I just. So I thank you for coming by. Where time is going so fast here, I could
Yeah,
talk. We could talk about so many
we could do
different.
this all night, my friend. We got a lot of work
Uh,
to do to get
and
ready
we
for
got to
November.
spread this around, and our Facebook loves us tonight, so we're in good shape.
Well, thanks for having me, John.
Yeah, I
Good to
thank
see
you for
you.
coming by, and we'll have to have something down the road, and maybe we should have you and Dr. Gaddis together. We'll have a giant confab.
I'd love that. Give us more time, though.
He doesn't have much
I'm
time.
not
He
as look.
squeezes it in. And,
He's a scholar. He's brilliant. So I need to read up before I
yeah, I like
do
to
that.
talk with him on these topics too. Well, Juan, it was good to talk with you. And hey, if you're into politics, tomorrow, Aurora, Batavia mayor is going to be at Kiwanis.
Good to know.
My old mayor, 44, no, 44 years going on 45,
Wow.
12th term.
That's who? That's Shelky.
Yeah,
He's still the mayor.
of course.
Wow. He was mayor when I was in high school.
Yeah, he's back. I was in. He was 1 year ahead of me in high school. That's
How old is
all.
he now?
Probably 76 or 77.
All right.
He's up there, but
All
he's
right.
still humming.
Good. 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 Well, thanks again, John.
Yes. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And
Take care.
tomorrow we're going to be Wednesday. We're going to talk about Green Fest. So that's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday.
Good.
So thank you for coming by, Juan. And Juan's wife is very active too, Angie. And just say hello to Angie there.
I will. She's our town
And
clerk.
thank you for coming by. And we're going to sign off for now. We'll talk again, everybody. God bless out there.